No crying in baseball. This is Corey, and this is the Anthem podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob.
And we are joined by our special guest.
Hey, it's Jim. How's it going?
I always love Jim coming with the fire right at the gate.
People always comment. There's been relatives and friends who go, I listen to your podcast, and I didn't get very far because you had such a lack of energy at the beginning. I just went, Jim fucked it up.
No.
I get that a lot. I'm like, but there's a whole bunch of podcasts. I did bring the fire.
Listen, give me more than 2 seconds. Give me more than just a hey.
I feel like it's modest, humble, and relatable. That's what I'm going for.
And you know what? It's the type of thing I used to think, like, with the girls, like when you hit on them at the bar. Like, I'm not good out the gate. Like, I don't have, like, a snazzy pickup line. But, like, if you give me a couple months, I'm good boyfriend material.
A couple months.
Oh, my. Well, so we are going to do a repeat of an episode. Not a repeat, but a new version of an episode we did several months ago, which people seem to like.
Yeah.
Where we did a running commentary for one of the greatest movies from the 80s, Masters of the Universe.
Absolutely.
So we decided to do this again. Mm-hmm. And this time we decided to do something that maybe more people have seen.
Well, if you haven't seen Masters of the Universe, you need to go watch it.
Obviously, number one, this episode won't make any sense unless you go watch the first one.
Right,
so,
well, we should preface that the only reason we're doing this movie is because She's All That wasn't available on streaming.
Yes, we were going to do She's All That.
I was trying to find the best Rachel Lee Cook movies I could find. She's All That wasn't on streaming. Josie and the Pussycats is criminally underrated, but yet still not on Netflix.
And I'm thankful every day. Well, for the last few hours, for both of those facts being true.
I feel like if She's All That does come to streaming, we should do it at some point.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you are one of those people who goes into those clickbait articles where it's just like
most underrated Rachel Lee Cook movies.
No, what's coming new to Netflix in July? And it's She's All That. Expect that me, you, and Jim will be here a week later with
a commentary for She's All That.
Yeah, but right now,
Is Amazon Prime in play, or do you guys not have Amazon?
I have Prime, so we can get it.
I don't have Prime, but I wanted to make it something that people could. What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we can use Prime. If it comes up on Prime, we can certainly use it, because I can just log in over here and we can do it. So
I mean, that makes sense, because if you think of Rachel Lee Cook as a person, I feel like she's a Netflix of a person.
Yeah, I feel like her movie quality isn't up to Amazon standards. I feel like she's on Netflix.
Listen,
She's All That on Netflix.
Listen, I've had 2 Rachels in my life, the current one, and then Lee Cook. And I don't like you speaking ill of either of them.
Even after last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago episode now?
Oh my god.
MVP of the Drinko de Mayo.
Yes, indeed.
That was my favorite Drinko de Mayo. Just hearing Corey getting upset. That was like really fun.
All right, so this week, we're not doing Masters of the Universe again, unfortunately, because I could do that movie again.
Yeah, really. We should do that one again some other time.
We should just go through Dolph Lundgren's entire filmography.
I am down for that 100%. And
I am actually also I'm going to see Kindergarten Cop, which is 2. Kindergarten Cop 2, which is coming on Netflix soon. I'm definitely reviewing that. I'm very excited.
It's not a tumor.
And Dolph Lundgren in the running for Cable for Deadpool 2, apparently. So
really,
he has put his name out there. He wants to be Cable.
Oh my god, I love Dolph Lundgren. He's the fucking shit. Oh man.
Well, I mean, and then also you have the guy from Avatar, who's always the old general guy, whose name escapes me.
Oh, that guy. Oh, Stephen Lang, I think.
Stephen Lang, that's it. Yeah. So a lot of exciting prospects. But if Dolph Lundgren gets a major role in another motion picture, I think we do have to do a bunch of Dolph Lundgren.
Well, yeah. I mean, clearly
he gets a lot of major roles. They're just on the video on demand.
Wait. Now, guys, I don't want to cut off the hot Dolph Lundgren chat.
Oh well,
let's get rolling on the movie, and then when we get sick of Tom Berenger, we can get back into Dolph Lundgren.
What? Sick of Tom Berenger? Why would that happen?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
So here's what you want to do. for you listening at home. Hopefully you're not driving. If you are,
sorry.
Yeah, just.
Well,
I hope you really know Major League.
That guy from last time who was listening to the podcast and has his laptop open was driving is so hyped for this episode.
Well, he just got out of the hospital from his major accident, and he's ready to get back into it.
Time to do it again. Here we go.
It's like the beginning of a Fast and Furious.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. All right, so everybody at home, go to your Netflix machine and pull up Major League.
Yes.
We'll give you
Netflix machine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get it on phone, computer, TV.
Whatever manner you use to get Netflix.
Yes.
I'm channeling my dad with the Batman.
Unless it's the same way that you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, then you got to find something else. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't allow that to happen. I can't.
This is a multi-device situation.
It's a second screen experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So get it set up to 0000. That's where we all are, and we will get ready. And Corey, you can cue. Jim, are you ready on your end?
Yeah, and on the third line's roar, we'll do this.
It's the third line's roar where we all just hit the bong load and.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, did I ever tell you? I'll tell you after we start.
All right. Well, everybody.
I'll tell you a story.
We're counting down from 5 and play, all right?
Wait. Do we go on 1 or do you go on go?
Go on go.
Go on go. Okay,
all
Jim,
right, everybody, ready?
Yep.
This is going to be interactive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. Paramount.
Yay.
So do you want me to tell you my Wizard of Oz? If I told this last time, you can stop me. But have I told you my Wizard of Oz, Dark Side of the Moon, the Senator story?
No, bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay, so as a kid who looked at the Senator's newspaper ads every week, I noticed there was this weird thing like call this number, and it was a weird reference to Dark Side of the Moon. I called it, and they were like, we're going to have a free screening tonight. For anyone who shows up, and we're going to play The Dark Side of the Moon with The Wizard of Oz because it had been re-released. This was like when we were in high school, Corey, I think. And I called my dad and was like, Dad, this is the once-in-a-lifetime chance to see Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon at the Senator. And we did it, and it was like the best way to ever do the Dark Side of the Moon Wizard of Oz thing. It was like so cool. But then they do the repeat of the disc, so by the end it's like super sad and you're kind of like just depressed because you're like, God, how many times can I listen to Dark Side of the Moon in a row?
Now, how much pot did you smoke with your dad before you went to the Senator?
No, we didn't. Oddly we didn't, but they made a lot of drug jokes, and then the guy who ran it, Kefauver, who I won't get into that whole drama, but you know about him, I guess. But he did the exact same drug jokes when they played Woodstock like 2 years later, and I was like super bummed because I was like, I've heard this material.
Come on, Tom, give me something new.
Because I remember him looking at me because I'd always like laugh and stuff, and he looked at me like, what's Jim's deal? What's going on? Because I turned to my dad after. I was like, "This is the same jokes like 2 years ago, man." Like, what the?
Hey, listen, if you got money jokes, stick with them. That's what I say.
I mean, the audience liked him, but I remember him giving me a look like, "Dude, what the hell? Give me some." Anyway,
come on, I'm working off of you. By the way, last night I was serenading Rachel with Randy Newman.
Those two things should not be in the same sentence. Serenading and Randy Newman.
We tell people we're watching Major League?
Yeah. We got into it.
Sorry.
We're in it right now.
I was like, did that part happen?
The Indian slump reached 34 years. That's where we are.
Yeah, listen, we're seeing inspirational images of Cleveland, which is also two words that should not be in the same sentence ever.
Well, this is a weird choice because we all agreed that... when was the last time you guys saw this? Because I was like...
I saw it a couple years ago.
Now, see, thinking back...
A couple. Maybe 3 years ago.
I feel like this is a movie that when I'm doing something and I just want to have something on TV, I can put it on and have it run in the background and be fine. So I'm pretty sure I've seen it since I was a kid, but not actually sat and watched it.
See, I've only seen it before they shot the sequel in Baltimore, and my parents rented it. So I was like, I had to be 8 or 9 when that happened.
Wow.
Because they shot that at Camden Yards, right?
Yeah, and that opened at 94.
Yeah. Now,
So-
they rented it. You mean you got it on Netflix or Amazon or how?
Yeah, how did you rent this?
I think it was.
Tell me more, Granddad.
I don't. I don't think it was Blockbuster. I think it was like Errol's or Reynolds or something. God, it's like one of
God,
those
I
chains
fucking
that,
remember
like,
Errol's, yeah.
Okay, I got the name right. Yeah, it was one of those chains that wasn't Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Because I remember the red case, and we'd go there a lot. And because they weren't very popular, they pretty much had everything. So my parents liked that.
That's
But, I
always,
mean-
the irony is that when you went to the worst places, they always had all the movies because nobody went
Yeah.
there.
Well,
The
hey,
other
hold
thing
on.
about
I'm gonna make a reference here that maybe only Jim and I appreciate. Did you ever go to Video American?
Actually, only a few times because my parents wouldn't drive me all the way there.
Where's Video American?
Well, it just closed down. They just knocked it down like a week ago.
About a
Yeah.
week ago.
But it was up by Loyola.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was in Serial Mom.
Yes,
It was where?
in Serial Mom, the John Waters classic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the video store they work at.
Right.
So that was like, I think, what's funny is if you watch that movie, how many of the places they go don't exist. Like Hammerjacks is in a big sequence.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Hammerjacks is gone.
Hammerjacks
But-
is coming
so-
back.
By the way, I just gotta.
They've been is
I
it
don't- I
really?
don't
They've
wanna-
been saying that for so long, though. Come
I
on.
don't want to blow past one of my favorite lines there.
Yeah.
Where it's just
sorry.
like, this guy's dead. We'll cross him off the list. David S. Ward did a great job with the script.
Hammerjacks is coming back. It's coming back to the after hours bar that's under the bridge down by the casino.
That's
So-
you know what though. I saw there's a video from some Baltimore news news station, and they made a little like mini documentary, like 10 minutes about Hammerjacks.
I've
in the
seen that one,
80s.
yeah.
And like seeing that little thing, the new Hammerjack should be under a bridge. So that makes sense.
Well, and listen, for the most part, that place gets left alone, and Hammerjacks is the kind of place that, let's be honest, needs to get left alone. If it's going to be the same way that it was before, it's best if the
Yeah.
police don't come and the inspectors don't come, and they just let things happen. So,
That's
Listen,
also when
you don't ask questions, you don't get answers. That's basically.
it was kind of more because you needed a club that could do metal and alternative bands, and I don't think Baltimore had as many then. But now it's like not as essential, I guess,
Now,
as
see,
it was back then.
I remember that as being, I think I went in there when I was like 18 or 19.
Quick interjection, just
Yeah.
real quick, to get back on movie here.
Yeah.
Just because I know how bad Miami sports fans are, I just think it's funny that she's like so proud of her Miami stadium with 62,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, lady, you're going to be lucky to get 6,200 people in that stadium.
And I also realized that the reason I don't think I watched this movie is that for the long dry spell of the Orioles, it reminded me of the long dry spell of the Orioles. Because you're like, oh, we've been here. We've been here before.
You know what it kind of
painful.
reminds? You know what it's kind of like? It's like when you watch this movie when the Orioles are terrible. It's like watching High Fidelity when you've just gotten broken up with.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You're like sitting there with a bottle of tequila and a razor blade, and you're just like, "This is it."
Just a little bit of John Cusack, and then I'm calling it. That's it. Anyway, so I remember being like 18 or 19 and going into Hammerjacks and having, seriously, like a 60-year-old man be like, you don't got a beer? And me being like, oh, I'm not old enough to drink. And him just like handing me his beer. And just be like, you
Wait.
can't be here without a beer.
How old were you?
I was
it
probably like
still-
18
it was
or
still-
19.
It was still around then?
Yeah. Maybe not. Not
I think
the
it was in
original
its second
place.
incarnation.
Yeah, the second incarnation of Hammerjacks.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
not the big club that everybody loved. That got knocked down, I think, when they built something downtown. But the second incarnation of Hammerjacks. But it was always the same owners, I think. And I think these are the same owners from the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But a guy I know who actually did promotion at for Hammerjacks is like super excited about it, that he's lived long enough for it to reopen again. So super stoked for that. It's a Baltimore institution.
No, it is.
Yeah, so
Hey, look, Corbett Field
where is Corbett Field?
in Arizona.
Oh, yeah,
I should play at that stadium. I
could
should
take a
just
picture.
yeah.
Go take a picture in front of it.
For those who don't know, my middle name is Corbett.
Yeah, and where does that come from?
Oh, hey.
That's my mother's maiden name.
Fair
Do you need my social security number too, just
Yes.
in case you're trying?
I would like all 12 numbers of your
Yeah.
credit card, the expiration date, and the 3-digit code on the back, please.
I like the...
All right, hold on a second. Let me pull it out here.
Electric
It's
keyboard going on.
5329.
By the way, why didn't he take an Uber? What's the deal? What's this taxi situation that he's doing?
God, this movie's so old.
Holy shit, Blade's in this? I know. Is this part of the MCU? I didn't know that.
Oh, wait,
Cool.
ironic that the guy who played Blade also in this movie, and the guy who looks like Blade
yeah.
in this movie.
Oh shit, and The Great Gatsby's in it too. Wow. Man.
I know a guy who actually has that car, ironically enough. It's not in that good of condition, and he doesn't play golf,
Oh.
but...
I like how he's bringing his golf clubs into the clubhouse.
Yeah, what's the plan there exactly?
Is he planning on like chipping some shots? Like,
Well, if you're trying to lose, I guess.
listen, when I'm not in batting practice, I like to work on my putting game.
What kind of
man.
car is this? Anybody?
I have no idea.
It's a VW Bug, but what is it?
It's made to
pretending
look
be?
like.
Yeah.
Maybe he just bought like a Bentley, like because it looked like the winged thing
Yeah.
of a Bentley, but he just put it on like a Bug
He definitely put it on the book.
to make
this
it
is
seem like
back
it's
when
a fancy
Wesley used to pay
car.
his taxes.
When you get your tax return, you start buying stupid shit that you don't need.
This is both the last time he paid his taxes and the reasons he didn't pay it anymore.
I love this cut. Very, very smooth cut there, where he pulls completely out, and then you see just like a quick like click.
And then
It looked like that was totally arranged. Like they had a guy going like, "Okay, go," like behind the scenes.
Well, I think him waving the green
was that the signal?
handkerchief was like, "Move the motorcycle."
Oh man, that's smart. That's smart. See, I can tell you were a director. That's how
I really like this guy.
That guy?
Yeah. He's too old to really be a baseball player, but he seems like the type of guy who's been a big leaguer for like 20 years.
Like I used to be
Yeah.
a baseball player?
Yeah. So he fits in well.
Man, Charlie Sheen.
Don't
back
fuck
when-
with Charlie Sheen.
It's like, have you ever seen that photo series? It's like before the Coke wave.
No.
I guess I just ruined the joke, but this is Charlie before the Coke wave.
Yo, speaking of which, I don't want to do spoiler for Civil War, so let's not say too much. But along those lines, how was that special effects? Do you know what I'm talking about, Jim?
Oh yeah, they're really good at that.
How fucking good was that?
It's not too much of a spoiler. I mean, it's right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, should I say more or no?
I mean, I think it's fine. Just so people know, we're going to just make a little mention of something.
Well,
It's
hold on.
not a spoiler.
Another fun fact, just real quick, cutting in. The fantasy baseball league that I play in, that I had won 2 years ago, is called the California Penal League. So, just everybody enjoy that. Just a little Korea trivia for you. Go on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt hot Civil War talk.
So go ahead, Jim.
Well, it was their technology with doing that's real good because they did it in Ant-Man as well, and that looked flawless. But I think it probably only works with people who have been in movies for so long. They have footage of them when they were kids, like Michael Douglas when he was younger,
Right.
And it probably only works then because when I saw that, because I've seen younger Robert Downey Jr., I went, oh shit, that looks exactly like him when he was younger, and same with Michael Douglas. But if you did that with like Chris Evans, I'd be like, I mean, he kind of looks like 10 years ago.
Right.
No, I don't. It's like
Why is he wearing a Letterman jacket?
Well, it's like him with the at the beginning of Captain America. Chris Evans at the beginning of Captain America, where it's just like scrawny dude, Chris Evans' head on top of it. But I for like a split second, I thought that they had pulled a scene from a previous movie and they had actually inserted the new material. Like had now Robert Downey Jr. walking through an older scene as that developed. I was like, man, that is freaking great.
Yeah, they seem to be really good. I don't know how they're the only ones who really use it. But wow, is this the Synchronicity video? That's what it looks like. Man,
80s score.
Yeah,
Look at that guy with the mustache. He's like, no fucking way.
Did Wesley come back for the sequel? I don't think I
no,
saw
no,
the
no.
sequel.
It was like Omar Epps in the sequel.
Yeah.
But they were like acting like it was.
Let's just pretend. Well,
no, it's still Willie Mays Hayes.
Like Rhodey
Nothing's changed.
in Iron Man, where all of a sudden Cuba Gooding, not Cuba, who played Rhodey in the first one?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, gone now, and we're just going to pretend it was the same guy.
That was less of, I mean, I think in this it was because he was a bigger movie star and he didn't want to have a smaller role like this at this point. But in Iron Man, Terrence Howard actually got paid the most in the first one.
Really?
And because he was the biggest star then. Like, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't big.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. was just trying to, like, make his comeback, essentially, at this point.
Yeah. That was his I Can Stay Clean and Be a Movie Star Again movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, look at that swinging around with the bat there. Looks like he has to pee. But, so Terrence Howard wanted a pay raise because he kind of helped them out because they needed a star to get more financing. And then when the sequel came around, they're like, no, we're going to pay you the exact same. And he, like, balked at it and split. But that's kind of how that went down, apparently. And so they hired somebody else.
And weird, because then his career went nowhere. So,
well,
for a while anyway.
Hey, people watched Empire for a whole year, so...
Well, no, I was going to say... Iron Man was in 2000.
It had its run.
It was in 2003, though. He literally went a decade without any big show.
Iron Man was 2008.
Was it really?
Yeah.
So wait, the second coming of Robert Downey Jr. happened since 2008?
Yep.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I mean, Terrence Howard had just come off of Hustle and Flow. I mean, he was hot at the time.
Right, I remember that, yeah. Well,
Hustle and Flow is a good movie.
I think I may be confusing Charlie Sheen and Robert Downey Jr. for the same person, I'll be honest.
Well, you know, in both cases, you're thinking of drug-addicted stars of the 80s. So,
right.
You know.
And Charlie Sheen got the role on 2.5 Men somewhat before that.
Yeah, I think that might be 2003. I don't know the history. I've never watched 2.5 Men, so I don't
Me
know
either. Nah, I just know that it exists. So.
Does that say in the back chicken $500? Because I think, like, is that like elite Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Something tells me that if you get it in the bucket, you get $500.
You get $500.
Did you see Bull Durham?
That's another one that was like so long ago.
He hit the bull. He hit the fucking bull.
Yeah, if you hit the bull, win steak. Hit grass, win salad.
Yeah,
I haven't seen. That's the joke on the. We do chicken right. Yeah, hit it in that hole and you get $500.
It's got a hole in there.
Oh, okay. See, I'm like, most of the baseball stuff I think I saw when I was younger, except for I saw 8 Men Out a couple years ago, but other than that.
Okay, so I just want to, something I just noticed now, and I'd like to point this out. In the background behind them, they're playing Pepper.
Yeah.
But before there was a sign that said no Pepper that Charlie Sheen burst open with the fastball, and then all of a sudden they're playing Pepper. Like,
he broke the sign.
The sign's the reason why they're allowed to do it now. That's so good. I didn't even notice that before. Gotta love
Did you
James
just drop
Gammon.
his script?
He needs to remember the lines.
Here's what I think your script.
David S. Ward's the director, too. I don't know if you want to be offending him like that in front of...
Yeah.
It's not some no-name writer. It's the director is the one who did it.
And Charlie Sheen's haircut.
Oh, my God. It's so 80s, it's hurting me. It's like physically hurting me.
It's like you know he looks like someone who thinks he's listening to punk but just bought a Go-Go's album and called it a day. Like he's like, yeah, Black Flag's really cool, and then he turns around like, what's that? Oh my god, I have to go to the record store.
Wait, did they just bleep out shit?
I'd put Misfits in my changer, but I already got Sum 41 in there, and I know. Not really in the mood of changing things right now.
Well, he thinks the Misfits are the evil band on Gem, so he's more like, why would anyone be friends with the Misfits? I don't get it.
Did you see Gem in the Holograms, by the way?
The movie? Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
How horrible.
Clearly, someone is not watching Jim's reviews, which are available on YouTube. Look at Jim Force on Twitter to stay in touch. And go to patreon.com / is it Jim Force?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Jim Gisdrill. Yeah.
Look for Jim on Patreon, and you can get the inside line on all his reviews. No, Corey, he did review Gem in the Holograms.
Okay, listen, I don't remember everything that Jim has done. He's quite prolific with his videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do make a lot of, but. Wow,
But
okay.
if you're feeling charitable, like after you've given Jim $5 a month or whatever, go over to patreon.com / Anthem and give us 10.
Hey, and you get the lovely pre-roll, which was pretty good, I will say, for this episode.
Yeah,
and the other ones have been good as well, from the ones I've heard.
I like the pre-roll. I think it's a good.
No, it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Wait, is that? Who is that? That's like somebody, that actor.
Whoopi Goldberg? Are you talking about Jabu?
Oh, but yeah, so the Gem movie, I actually saw it. It has nothing to do with the cartoon whatsoever, and I rewatched a lot of the cartoons, so I was ready to pick it apart. But it's pretty bad because it's not for the fans, and I don't think anyone younger would actually see it. So it's like this weird. Like, the whole time I was like, so who is this for? Like, 2 people?
Well, it's for opening weekend to trick people who liked the cartoon to go see it. But it had nothing to do with the actual commercial.
Well,
cartoon.
There was one of the sales reps at work was, like, super excited about it. Like, she saw the trailer. She's like, oh, man, I loved Gem when I was a little kid, and I can't wait to see this movie. I'm like, it doesn't look very good. She's like, I don't care. I want to see it anyway. And then she... like asked me like a month after it was out of theater. She's just like, when's that Gem and the Holograms movie coming out? I'm like, it has gone.
You missed your chance.
It had its opening weekend and then it was gone. Like
it's the first time they've pulled a major release like that in like years.
Yeah.
It was like a big story when they did. But the craziest thing about that movie is they offered that director like twice as much for a more accurate Gem movie. And he decided, no, it should be but he was like, if you give me 10 million, can I do whatever I want? And they're like, sure, fine. And so it wasn't Hasbro that did that. It was the director. Like, it was his choice to make it that way.
Really?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah. So, like, they could have made something that more people would have liked, but he, like, refused. It's the weirdest. Sometimes in Hollywood, you're like, oh, why were the suits thinking that? And you're like, oh, no, it's this one guy, and he was crazy.
Now, if I remember, wasn't Gem was, like, a super feminist cartoon, right? It was, like, empowerment for women?
Well, but it was also, the thing I remember always about it was that if all the guys I watched it as well. Like, it wasn't just a girl show for girls. Like, everyone watched it.
A girl show for girls.
Well, no, I mean, I remember watching it, but I remember, like, watching it with my sister and my mom being, like, very happy that we watched it.
Wait a minute. It's against the rules to blow up a catcher like this. When is this movie from?
Oh.
I mean, you know, Reagan was president. Things were crazy. Or was Bush president? Was this Bush 1?
Yes, this would have been Bush 1.
Well, I think this was in between the two. No, this is 88.
First of all, there's no such thing as in between presidents. It's one or the other.
There's like a 5-minute where they're shaking, a minute and a half where they're shaking hands.
Yeah.
That's the only.
There's a minute where law does not apply.
Well, that's when the purge happens. I wait for that minute and then I punch someone in the face.
Speaking of which, what are your thoughts about purge election year?
I'm excited. I'm curious because it's a sequel, more of a sequel, direct sequel to the last one because Frank Grillo's in it again.
Right. Yeah.
I kind of like 2 more than I like the first one.
I hated the first one. I decided I'm never watching another one again.
Oh man!
The second one's so different because it's the same universe, but no one connected. No one from the first one's in it.
Thank God, because everybody who was in the first one was abysmal.
I mean, it's the problem with that the first one is it's such a what was it a ripoff? It's like such a ripoff of a lot of different movies that you're like, I guess, like I just didn't. I think it's a cool concept, and I like that it's so open that you can just do whatever you want with it. That it has a lot of cool possibilities if they have fun with it.
The concept was fine, but then like when I was watching it, and I'm just like, why the fuck are they any like it? It followed like that awful horror movie logic where you like back in the day where you knew every single beat of the horror movie.
Right, but it's still...
that's the problem with the first one is it's ripping off like Assault on Precinct 13 and like a bunch of so you know everything that's going to happen. But then in the sequel, it's a little more surprising and it's more of an action horror hybrid, which I thought was a lot more fun. And that's why I'm excited. The third one gets more into the history of the Purge. Like there's that political candidate who her family was. This is all in the trailer, by the way.
No, wait, and isn't she from the first one?
No, I don't think so. Unless the trailer didn't look like they were, because the killer in the trailer didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. But it's like why it started and the political situation behind it. That seems kind of interesting. But also Frank Grillo is the fucking man. So
I feel like Jake Arrieta made the same exact speech when he got traded. You may think I'm shit now, but I'm going to come back and shove it up your fucking ass.
And then he did.
Then he did.
Yeah.
Take that, Rick Adair.
But no, and speaking, his first name's Frank, right? The actor's name is Frank?
Frank Grillo,
yeah. Do you think they did a disservice putting him as Crossbones for like 5 seconds in Civil War?
I think I was surprised he didn't get Punisher, to be honest. But I haven't seen Daredevil, so I can't. And the other guy seems fine from the little I've seen. But,
you will absolutely love it. I hope that they bring Punisher to play in the Marvel Universe. So,
I mean, I was surprised he didn't get that, but it might be better for him to have a smaller role because he can do more outside of the Marvel Universe if he wants to.
Right.
Than just have to be like the main villain. Like he might have just done that. He basically did one scene and got to get a nice paycheck and the awareness, and then gets to go on. So,
do you know Crossbones from the comics?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I think that there's a lot of depth to that character, and I wish they would have done a little more. I feel like he could have been a villain in his own right, and they just kind of like washed him away in that with like a dismissing vibe in the first 15 minutes or whatever. So,
oh wow, this is totally a city in the 80s. But
it's Cleveland. It still looks like this.
Yes.
Oh, that was Cleveland. Wait, does this take place now in present day?
Yes, it does. Oh. Well, you wouldn't be able to tell.
That was the janitor from Scrubs, and that's right there. You see that? Did you see that?
Yes.
I definitely... Okay, I was not wrong, right?
Well, maybe Scrubs takes place in Cleveland. I don't know. Maybe he got a job as a janitor in Scrubs. I have no idea.
Oh, there we go. No, but Crossbones, he would be a good villain, but he wasn't the right villain for that movie. They just need a movie that would work for him to be the villain.
Right.
Which I don't know when that's going to be. That might be for the next whoever plays Captain America after Evans or something.
Well, and so there's another interesting question. A movie like Major League will never be rebooted. I just don't feel like the climate is there to make this movie again. Am I right about that?
Yeah, because we're so reliant on foreign audiences.
Right.
But this could play in Japan because isn't baseball pretty big in Japan, right? So
but I mean, China is really the new big market, right? So
yeah, it is. But I know actually, it's funny you bring that up because Charlie Sheen actually, when he was really hot during the Tiger Blood nonsense and all that, he was trying to make a third one. Or is there a third? He was trying to make another one. There's only two.
They made a third one. But it was like Back to the Minors or something like that, and it had like
so he wanted to make a fourth one. I guess then he wanted.
It had
to make
like nobody from like the first two were really in it.
Yeah.
It was like all the side characters from the second one.
Oh, okay. But
he did want to make one.
He apparently he really did invite like all the guys from the original, except for I don't think Wesley showed up. He was either in jail or didn't show up, and
he like I look like a banker in this.
Wait, Charlie Sheen looks like a banker?
Yeah, that was his line.
He just said, I look like a banker because
he's got a cut off like
I missed that.
vest, and he's got just a tie on over a tank top, and he's like, I feel like a banker in this.
What kind of restaurant is this? French? They got chili dogs over there?
But yeah, he apparently tried to pitch it to Paramount, and they at least took a bunch of meetings and considered it because he was so popular.
Right.
Then, but they didn't. Clearly, they didn't do it because that was a while ago. So
yeah.
When I guess now he would kind of be playing the Behringer character, right? Like the head.
Yeah, if they rebooted it correctly, yeah. But I don't know if they would. He's still hard to deal with. I think, so.
Well,
man, he's spotting a gal across the way.
They would never reboot this, but I mean, do you suspect that at some point they're going to reboot the Marvel universe and just say, "All right, so now we're going to recast"? Because Captain America isn't supposed to age, so at some point we're going to just recast all these characters and redo it all over again.
I mean, I don't know. They eventually might have to, but I think they're going to. Marvel is so well known for their. In the comics, like their continuity got so thick after a while. Yeah. I bet you they'll keep it going for as long as they can, and either have the Winter Soldier become Captain America or Falcon, because both of them became Captain America for a little bit,
right?
Or they'll just have someone else who's new. But I don't think they're gonna do a total revamp for a while. They'll have it go until your normal person will see a Marvel movie and then they'll be like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? I don't understand this. Which is already, they're getting close to that. So I don't know how much longer they can really do this, but it's an interesting kind of cinematic experiment on a really big, expensive level. Because like Civil War, like you cannot see that one first. Like you have to have seen a lot of movies before, and they do not catch you up, which is kind of risky.
Thank you for the recommendation on that, because I hadn't seen Winter Soldier, and I would have had no idea what was going on if I hadn't seen Winter Soldier.
No, Winter Soldier is the essential movie to see before. Mm-hmm. Age of Ultron, I think, is lesser, but I'd still say see that one.
Okay, well, I guess I have to see Winter Soldier before I get into it.
Don't see Civil War until you've seen Winter Soldier.
I mean, yeah, advanced text would be Age of Ultron, and if you haven't seen any Captain America movie, then you've got other issues. But.
I saw the first Captain America, and I saw Age of Ultron,
right?
But I haven't, and I've seen. There's a couple that I've missed, like Ant-Man. I didn't see,
which is less important.
I didn't watch a lot of the Thors.
Thors are fine. You don't need them.
Okay, good.
You only need it for the tech, but I think I do. If you see Age of Ultron, they explain the Vision Stone, so.
Oh, that's true. There's a lot of things that are just kind of hinted at that you'll be fine with. But Winter Soldier, you need to, because you won't understand why they're so upset about this guy and what the deal is. And there's a lot of themes that carry over. So it'd be and Winter Soldier is a good movie too. So I think that that helps.
I do want to say a little commentary, if we can, about the movie that we're watching.
Yes.
A scene that would never occur in today's movies, where Jake goes to one house phone and calls another house phone, asking for a person. When's the last time you saw a house phone at a restaurant?
Oh my God, you're right. You know, I had to. You remember when your parents went out and you were home, like either with a babysitter, and they'd leave the number for the restaurant?
Oh, yeah. And they had to look it up in the yellow pages first to figure out what the number for the restaurant was?
God, somebody at work was just like, we got a thing in the mail from the yellow pages. It costs $300 to renew. I'm just like, don't even waste your money.
Why would you?
Google is free.
Well, no, and I was going to say, with the Yellow Pages, you actually get yellowpages.com too. So it's like a lovely short film I saw from a local filmmaker who was yelling at movie stars at a John Waters premiere here in Baltimore. And in order to see the said film, I think you have to be his supporter on Patreon. Patreon.com.
No. It was that... to clear that up, because I heard you say that on the podcast, and I wanted to correct that. You could see it early on Patreon, but now it is available for everyone. So if you just go to my YouTube, you can watch it right now.
Okay, so at the end of you wonder how long ago that was filmed, and Jim looks pretty young, so there's that. But then at the end of the movie, where they're like, "Oh damn, we got to find a payphone to call your mom," and I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a payphone, let alone used one? Oh.
I like how there used to be like sitting rooms, like where the phone was, like in like.
Oh yeah.
And then every once in a while, like now they've like turned into like cell phone charging areas and stuff like that.
It's a place you can just have a private conversation with, basically.
They still have in New York, they have a lot of the pay phones because they make so much in advertising. They've kept them around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's apparently like that's why they keep them now. They are still working phones, like you can use them, but they mainly make millions off ads, so they just keep them.
I should have gone up there to get a shot for Where Do I Pray when all the phone booths are full.
Heretics. And make sure you check out youtube.com/Oh the Anthem to see the latest Heretics episode. Pastor Phineas Babowski.
Heretics is awesome. I love Heretics.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy them.
It's cool. Because you guys had told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like curious how you were going to do it and all this stuff, but the first two have been really cool. So
yeah, more coming. Unfortunately, there were many much technical errors, and now Corey's in LA, and that doesn't make it any easier.
No, more coming though. More coming.
Wait, so there's the Anthem Alliance? Is that it?
Yes. Anthem Alliance.
Are they going to talk about this episode?
Yeah, of course they will.
Oh my! Whoa! Wait, hold up. Before I go back to that, I'll put a pin in that. That is a skybox. That's classy.
Yeah,
right.
That's a built-in skybox. They don't have skyboxes at the stadium, and they just created that for this movie.
That's like, I mean, I've been in the sky. I was actually. This is a baseball story. I actually broke into Cal Ripken's skybox, and he saw us in there, and from the field, and asked us to get out.
Wait, so Cleveland Stadium didn't have skyboxes?
Not at this time.
Oh, so they literally just shut off that whole level and made a skybox.
Well, yeah, I mean, so like basically what had happened was, like this stadium would have been built in like the 50s or the 40s or something like that.
Right.
And then around the 90s is when the skybox like first started to become a thing.
Right.
That's why all these stadiums were built in like the early 90s, like Camden Yards and Jacobs Field and all these.
Advantage. Get the rich people.
So, like, as far as, like, when this movie was released, I'm sure skyboxes were, like, a new thing.
Right.
So they needed to incorporate that sort of attitude into this flick. But, I mean, like, essentially, it looks like they just, like, built an overhang in the stadium.
Right.
I mean, it's a funny visual gag to do it.
Yeah.
It's good. Oh, anyway, but the Anthem Alliance, I'm, like, super nervous to hear these guys talk about what I'm actually on.
Don't worry, Jim. I'm going to tell them lots of embarrassing things about you.
Oh, well, I will say I like it because I can't really talk to anyone about this show because I don't know anyone else who listens to it. So, like, it's like gives me. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys know what I'm feeling. All right, cool.
And speaking of which, make sure you check out new episodes of the Anthem Alliance, available every Friday. Initially, now they're going to be available through the the Anthem stream, so they'll come to you live. But working on that website while Corey's in LA, so hopefully it will have its own dedicated stream in the next couple of weeks. So.
It totally reminds me that today's Friday.
Yes, it is. Oh, whoops. So we're recording on a Friday, and the Anthem Alliance will be up...
in real time. You're hearing this a little bit late, but
right. So yeah, sure, it's coming.
If you're wondering why 2 weeks ago it was a little bit late, Corey doesn't.
Corey just realized.
Corey doesn't know what days are.
You know, the stadium looks like. Have you ever been to like a little league game? Not a little league. I'm sorry, a minor league game.
Yeah.
Little league. Wow. And they're like no one's in the stands. That's kind of what this looks like.
Yeah.
Actually, we used to go to minor league baseball all the time because on the shore, that's like it was much closer to go to the Shorebirds game than it was to go to the minor league Expos, Delmarva Shorebirds.
Oh, I've been by there when they're shooting off fireworks and all that stuff. It's crazy when you're driving by. You're like, "What's going on? That looks like a party."
Oh yeah, it's always a party at the Shorebirds Stadium.
Yeah. Frank Purdue Stadium.
Oh man, the Purdue family's got their
couldn't cut it in the
big
Mexican
family
league
around there.
That seems like the type of thing Rob would say to somebody. How's your wife and my kids?
Sure. By the way, why do the Yankees play the bad guys in every film?
Because the Yankees are the bad guys?
They're the bad guys everywhere. Even in New York, they're the bad guys. They're
It's
the
like-
popular kids.
It's like the guy who played Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore. Like how he always plays like a jerk.
Yeah.
Like it's just because that's who they are. They're just America's hated team.
I mean, like, even here, if you see someone in Yankees gear, you're like, I'm going to the next subway car. I'm not dealing with this shit today.
Yo, all he's gonna do is spend the entire time going like, "Yo, Yankees won 27 You hear about it? They won 27 champions." It's like, shut the fuck up.
One time before a Yankees parade, I was just in a deli and I was just looking at looking off at I think the gum or something, and this guy in all this Yankee stuff was like, "Do we have a problem?" And I was like, "With the gum? What's going on?" And he just tried to randomly start a fight with me for staring at gum. And I had someone with me. He goes, "Dude, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life." Like, he just really wanted to fight someone.
That's that's what happens when you deal with Yankees fans.
I was like, we were
the coach carrying him off the field.
Oh, another baseball story. I was actually at the Oriole game where there was a huge fight in '93, I think, between the two teams. There's a big brawl. Do you remember that?
They fought a lot during the 96-97 era when Benitez was on the team.
No, it was like 93, and my whole third grade class went, and my teacher was really embarrassed, and all the kids were like, "Yeah, fucking beat his ass."
Oh, so it must have been a Memorial Stadium.
No.
No,
Camden
it was
Yards
Camden
92.
Yards.
92, son.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
I just remember I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. My parents were mortified. They're like, "Oh my god, take kids to this game."
So, by the way, for those who don't know, Jim lives in New York. So do you use the subway a lot when you're up there?
Do what?
Do you use the subway a lot in New York?
Oh, that's how I get to work. I mean, I use it every day almost.
So have you heard this nonsense about what's going on in D.C.?
No, what?
They're shutting down the subway now.
What, forever, or what do you mean?
For long stretches at night to do repairs because they haven't been doing repairs very well.
That's the thing with DC's private and New York is state run, right? Or city or something like that. But since the DC one's private, it's run a little weird. I mean, that's why the DC one gets to look like it's a reject from 2001 and all that stuff. It's just when I went there, I'm like, wait, where's all the homeless people? And someone's like, oh no, it's privately owned. I go, oh, so you killed them. Okay, I get it.
Whoa. We're not saying that they kill anybody in the DC subway. Now, they may. I can't say for sure that they don't. But
Listen,
I'm not
saying
that they do.
that homeless people's blood oils the tracks of the DC Metro. I'm just saying.
I'm saying it's possible, but we cannot confirm nor deny.
I'm saying there's a 1 in 2 chance they definitely do that.
I see a lot of Taylor and Rob.
This guy?
Yeah.
I don't chase women.
No, with the lines, she just said, well, he's intelligent, he's kind, and I never found him in bed with a stewardess. And then his reply was, that's because no stewardess would take him.
By the way, for our younger viewers, this building where they're located right now is what's called a library.
Oh my god! Really?
And
those glasses, though.
Back in the before times,
if you didn't know what the '80s were like, those glasses are about what.
And that sweater, that entire outfit that she's got on.
Now, for the kids, those aren't virtual reality glasses, and she can't see in 3D. You just see better through these glasses. That's what they're for.
No, it's for vision.
You know what? Here's what I'll say, though. Those glasses are coming back. That's a hipster set of glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Michelle Pfeiffer rocked those in Batman Returns, I think.
And I think half the people in Brooklyn have those glasses right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw a few people with those glasses today.
But the big wooden building that has those little smelly little things in them. That's called a library. Those are books. We used to have to go there. We'd dig through this thing called a card catalog to find out where a book was located, and then we'd have to go find the book.
I wouldn't even waste my time with that sort of thing, especially when I know that Amazon brings me Faux and the Movement Insurrection right to my home.
Yeah.
And what other books do I need?
And the sequel to The Movement, which is coming out this summer.
Yeah, but technically that doesn't exist yet, so for now I only need 2 books.
And you can go to robertandcheek.com/books, and it'll give you a link directly to there on Amazon. Or, even better, click through the Amazon link at otheanthem.com. And as a thank you for us sending you there, Amazon gives us a little something. It's a great way to support the podcast. Mm-hmm. Although, that's a one-time donation, and the best way that you can support us is to go to patreon.com/otheanthem. Become a monthly supporter for as little as $1 per month.
Hold on.
Not the Patreon. The plate.
I love this. I love this line right here. Serrano does the Stations of the Cross, and it's just like...
By the way,
he's not fooled.
The guy talking about Jesus holding a hustler. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Thank you.
So I realized, like, right after I laughed, you were talking about the Patreon, and I'm like, ha ha ha. I wanted to preface.
Yeah, we were talking about the plane.
I pledged to the Patreon myself. Everyone should. It's a cool Patreon.
And you get a lot of great content, and for as little as $1 a month, you can be a supporter of the podcast. We appreciate everything. Obviously, it goes upwards from there, and you can support more. We always appreciate that, and the rewards go upwards from there. And Jim has access to the pre-roll, which we've talked about before.
It's cool. It's a cool pre-roll. One thing I really like about Patreon from all my the people who I do pledge are like either mostly friends and people I like is that you get an email when they have a new thing out.
Yep, absolutely.
Like you get to know right away. So if you're always like, it's like you're almost paying for a service to instantly tell you when it's up, which is so awesome. Like I find that really convenient. I end up learning more about channels that I wouldn't ordinarily. So
yeah, and I feel like it's something that YouTube probably offers too. I just never figured out, but Patreon makes it that much easier to do.
I know they do, but it's not. No one really does it. So
yeah.
So it's best to just Patreon's a better setup and all that. So
God, look at that old phone! Look at that old phone!
God, that cell phone!
Oh wow!
Yeah, just over for our younger listeners again. The gentleman who just left the screen was not talking into a walkie-talkie. That was actually a cellular phone. And this guy is reading a comic book. So
okay, people still know what those are. Let's.
And that guy's using what I like to call duct tape
to fix a goddamn plane.
Rob's gone past mansplainer to just like explaining everything that he could think of.
Now, what he's wearing right there is called a chain.
Because you went too far with it. But yeah.
Oh, this is classy Cleveland.
Oh, her license plate says Reed because she's a librarian.
There you go.
It's those little details that you miss. I've never noticed that before.
I didn't notice either, but that's a good pull.
I also didn't know that there were trees growing in Cleveland, so there's another thing.
Have either of you watched the show? It's on Netflix called Documentary Now.
No.
It's like a parody. Each one is a parody of a different kind of documentary, and there's one about Earl Morris. That's like you know who Earl Morris is, right? Or no? Or
no.
Oh, Earl Morris. He did like Fog of War, which is an interview with Robert McNamara.
Okay, yeah,
secretary. But that's the amazing. That one's really, really good. That's my favorite one by him. But he also did The Thin Blue Line. He's like the Spielberg of documentary. Like every documentary filmmaker is influenced by him. But they do them in the style of these documentaries. So it's Bill Hader and Fred Armisen. But it's like the dorkiest film show I've ever seen. But they did one on Earl Morris, and I just keep laughing about it. It's like so. It's so funny, but you kind of have to have seen The Thin Blue Line to get it. So now I'm alienating everyone. Never mind.
Well, no, I've seen it on Netflix though. It's in my supported for you or whatever. We predict that you would like this.
I mean, actually, Rob, you would really like The Thin Blue Line, the original, because it's about like a guy who's wrongly convicted, and the documentary actually like set him free. So you would actually really like that. So you should check that out regardless. But
yeah,
this is
like making a murderer, basically.
Yeah, but like
I like
in the 80s.
I like how this guy just burst into this guy's house.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, he's just my girlfriend's ex-husband. No problem.
Come on in.
Come on in. Sit down.
Well, what you don't see is that they've been doing blow for like 6 hours now. So everybody's in a great mood.
Just look at that dress if it's not clear enough what they've been doing.
Yeah. I like in the 80s where you just see they just really loved having columns in apartments.
Yeah.
Like, what was up with that? You see that What?
I was going to say, and the elevator which opens directly into the apartment with no security whatsoever.
Well, she's a librarian, so she can afford a apartment like that.
Right, of course.
But I guess it's Cleveland, so maybe it works out for her. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, because we found
that apartment, fun fact, actually only costs $400 a month.
We could get an entire...
Welcome to Cleveland.
We could get an entire floor of a building in Detroit for like $1,100 a month. It was ridiculous.
See, why are you moving to L.A. when you could be kings of Detroit?
Well, because then you're still king of Detroit, though.
That was a good response.
I'd rather take it like Risk. I mean, we've already conquered Baltimore. Everyone knows our names.
Clearly, this is your Baltimore podcast.
We're spoken of on the street every single day.
Right. Yeah.
I can't even go to my car without shrouding myself.
Right. Like Michael Jackson's children.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Corey shaved the beard. For those of you who haven't noticed yet, he shaved the beard, and now he's incognito once again.
Yeah. Now nobody knows me.
Oh, that sucks. Why'd you do that, man? You were having fun with the celebrity there.
Well, I basically he
wanted to keep his girlfriend.
2 weeks ago, the Capitals lost, and I fell into a bit of a shame spiral, and everything needed to go. I need to start anew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And Rene Russo, a little underrated.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler she was really good in, but I feel like she kind of isn't showy enough that nobody noticed her in a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, she wasn't underrated at this time, though. She was like a pretty highly rated actress in the 80s.
Is this before Lethal Weapon 3 or after?
This would have been just after Lethal Weapon 3.
Is it? Or is it?
So.
I don't know. Because she doesn't come into the Lethal Weapons till 3, because she's not in 2. As I recall.
Well, but nonetheless, I think that there are just not enough roles for the older women, the gracefully aging women. You get the much older women that Diane Keaton is playing those kind of roles now, and Rene Russo, as we saw in Nightcrawler, is just not in that place yet. She's still, young and actually really hot for being whatever age she is.
Yeah, that was her husband wrote and directed Nightcrawler.
It's unfortunate that she had to have such horrible 80s hair in this. I mean, it's not horrible 80s hair, but I mean, like...
She rocks it like Michelle Pfeiffer had good 80s hair.
Yeah.
It works for her.
That woman, the woman in purple, has horrible 80s hair.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you're getting rid of otherwise hot people and replacing them with less hot 80s hair people.
Here's the thing, though. Like, at that time, you would have thought she was hotter with that hair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just like
now,
in
retrospect.
When I see a girl wearing those high-waisted damn jean shorts, and I'm like, that's hideous. But somebody of that cadre is like, oh my god, look how hot she is.
Yeah.
Damn hipster.
Or at least you hope someone thinks that for them.
Well, the Kardashians told him to wear it, so I assume, Oh, that earring. Oh, my God. It's not even a ring. I guess it's an ear clip.
It's a medallion.
It is. Oh, chest out, too.
Oh, so should
it's like an umlaut. Or not an umlaut. What's the one I'm looking for?
An umlaut is the two dots.
Yeah, I know. What's the...
An ankh?
No.
What?
I'm thinking about...
He is off the reservation.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Okay.
You remember when they had to collect the...
Oh, piece of the temple, something like that.
No, but there was like a piece of jewelry kind of thing that was part of it. It's not an umlaut, but it's something akin to it.
If only there was some way that we could access all the information.
Unfortunately, it's 1988, and that doesn't exist.
Jeweled scabbard?
I don't know.
They should, they haven't made a baseball movie in a long time. Somebody should do that.
I like this line right here. Seeing's the most important part. I don't know if it's that important.
So the jeweled scabbard from Legends of the Hidden Temple looks a lot like a jeweled dildo.
Well, does it now?
Apparently.
Can I,
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hang on.
Make sure this makes it into the video.
The Temple Run? Damn it. Advertisements. Oh, speaking of video games, which we weren't talking about at all, but it just occurred to me. Have you seen the Assassin's Creed trailer there, Jim?
Yeah, I did. I'm curious. It looked really cool. I think it looked. People seem to be into it. They kept saying it actually doesn't look like a video game movie. It looks better, which is a compliment. But this is going to be the big summer to determine if we're going to get video game movies.
Is John Leguizamo in this one too?
No.
Wait. In this Major League?
No, I'm saying is John Leguizamo in this Assassin's Creed?
He was making a Mario Brothers joke, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that a Mario Brothers joke? I was making a Mario Brothers.
We have been hanging out way too long.
Listen, it's a. It doesn't always have to hit. They don't all have to be winners.
But
this is a free format. I'm allowed to give away I'm allowed to give away B-level jokes on this.
So that's
I get it. I get it now. I get it. It was good. It was good.
God damn! Somebody got fucked with that. I'm serious. Somebody got fucked with that at some point. It's ribbed for her pleasure and everything.
If you look up the jeweled scabbard from Legends of the Hidden Temple, you will find a jeweled dildo.
Jesus, of course, 90s kid.
But so anyway, what were we were talking about before? Was Assassin's Creed? Yeah.
So Assassin's Creed, if it's kind of like if Warcraft bombs, it's the last hope for video game movies. But I know Nintendo in particular has already publicly said that they want to make video game movies. And a lot of studios are kind of waiting and maybe have stuff in development, but are being really hush-hush. And they're hoping Warcraft hits. And then maybe like a week or two after Warcraft hits, you're going to hear of all these things get announced. Because Hollywood's like ready to do it. They're like so ready. But if it bombs, then they're going to cancel all that shit. So we'll see what happens. But that's kind of that Warcraft might bring about a change in Hollywood, like like an MCU kind of thing where there's video game movies are going to start to happen because they're ready. This is the big test. Warcraft and even Angry Birds. And Assassin's Creed, if all three do well, then Hollywood's going to go all out. It's going to be, you're going to hear of a Zelda or a Metroid movie or something to that caliber.
A Zelda movie would be so fucking difficult to do.
No, Nintendo themselves are going to do it like they'll be the Marvel.
Yeah. And
then there's all these other debates, like the long-standing rumor that Disney and Nintendo are going to make a deal that's been going on for forever. Might get it.
I love Jake's shit talk here too, by the way. Oh, I don't think this one's got the distance.
Oh, look at those waiters in that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wearing sunglasses.
Ballers.
Didn't this movie do better on video? Like didn't do that well in theaters. I don't know any trivia about this.
I'm not sure.
I probably should have researched this. Oh, well.
Probably should have looked into it a little bit.
As far as Assassin's Creed, though, I agree with you when it comes to Warcraft and Angry Birds that's going to set the tone for the video game movies. But I think Assassin's Creed ties into a whole different other audience. It's just people who like that adventure movie, and this is a different kind of adventure movie. So,
speaking of things,
that's true.
Speaking of things from the way back time, look at the internal combustion engine.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming when this comes out in like 2 weeks, like it'll just be all Teslas at that point.
Yeah, wow. And Hyperloops, Teslas and Hyperloops.
Yeah, I imagine things are going to move fast while I'm in LA.
Look at this. This is a solarium. So, listen, youngsters who are listening, solariums used to be rooms where we didn't have TVs. You just sat.
This is a rich person thing.
Yeah. You just sit and enjoy the sunshine.
And watch stocks, apparently.
Yeah. No, there's the TV.
Oh, he does have a TV in his solarium.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have a TV in your solarium, Dorn.
Get it together, Raj. Look, God. And he had to press a button to turn his TV off like a savage.
Look how big that TV is, by the way. It's a console.
Yeah. That thing probably costs like $10,000 in today's money.
Probably.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's so retro? Or?
Yes, exactly.
He's got that hot VCR up top.
It might be a Betamax. Don't say it's a VCR. It could be a Betamax.
At this point in time, it was definitely a VCR.
Okay, yeah.
Betamax had lost.
Now, wait, was Betamax the top load one, or was VCR sometimes the top load?
Well, they
you could top load a VCR.
Yeah, they had both, but by this point those were out of fashion. Like you couldn't get those at this point. I think. I don't know. Someone in the comments would be like, "How fucking dare you? Top loaders were around in '89, you bitch."
God, I'd love if nothing else but hot VCR arguments in the comments. Go ahead, people, give it to us.
There's somebody who has a YouTube channel and it's just them talking about VCR models. I so hope that's true. That would be my favorite. He's like, look, the double decker, it's controversial. It's a controversial issue. We're getting into it today on VCR Talk.
We should launch a new podcast on the network called VCR Talk.
Hot VCR Talk.
It would be called the Tracking Show.
Oh.
And at the end of every show, it's just like, make sure you subscribe on iTunes, make sure you leave a comment and a review, and be kind. Rewind.
There's the cat. Was there a cat? Okay, but no, he would be like, you'd be like, this is a long episode, as we like to call an SP.
This is a double tape episode. It's like Titanic. You need 2 tapes for this one.
Oh my God. I had Meet Joe Black on 2 tapes as well. Titanic, Meet Joe Black,
wow.
and Saving Private Ryan.
I miss the days where you were just like, where it's like end of tape 1. And you're like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. With Blu-ray, you don't even have the 2 DVD discs anymore.
Yeah.
Or with streaming, I guess you really don't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Most people don't even watch Blu-rays. It's just streaming.
Yeah, just me. Isn't that sexual harassment?
Yeah, this would never fly in 2016. Especially this next...
Yeah, that wouldn't be okay.
Yeah,
that's appropriation or something.
Yeah. He's going to own that team.
Man, she sounds.
He had a mustache like me.
Does she sound like she was dubbed over? Like after it was over, dubbed over. God damn it! What do they call it?
ADR.
ADR. Sorry. Yeah, she sounds very ADR'd right now. Doesn't she? Or is that just me?
Well, I'm not hearing it that well.
Yeah.
Oh, or is it like? Oh, I mean, that could have been better. That wasn't a great.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually,
that's the worst when you work for someone and their insult's not even good. You're like, fucking hell, insult me better.
It makes me work so much harder when you insult me and mean it.
If you've ever seen like a movie with Rock Hudson, the whole time he sounds ADR'd. I wonder if like maybe that's just his voice.
Like he just has a voice that doesn't match up with his mouth, right?
Or it just sounds like his voice sounds like he's ADR'd, like he's just stuck that way. It's just life. And like maybe her voice is just like that way. Like you meet her in real life and you're like, did you record this later? What's going on?
P.S. In what world can you pick up a single fan from the field and see them?
Well,
He's
I mean,
I see you.
I guess there's only like 15 of them there,
that's
so
that's true. There's not that many.
Well, no, you can because that's how Cal Ripken caught me in his skybox.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, but he knows where his skybox is.
Yeah, so he can look up there and be like, take the bullpen card.
He had an actual description. It was like, I have a 10-year-old redhead male up in my box. I'm going to take care of that. Send Billy. He's not doing it.
Billy came up there in security guard uniform. He's just like, I'm sorry, you got to go.
Sorry, guys.
And I was like, hey, I had your action figure. He goes, yeah, you were the only one.
Are you the Billy Ripken? Yeah. Can you tell me about the fuckface card? It's the only story I have.
Wait, what was the deal with Cal Ripken got divorced? What's the deal with that?
Nobody really knows because it's sealed.
See, I always thought he was the guy who'd never get oh man, I wish I had a car like that.
Yeah. I'd totally drive that around.
I'd
like it to be Orioles, not Indians, but, beggars can't be choosers.
I was thought Cal Ripken was like the perfect celebrity. Like he'd never have a scandal. But I was like, divorce? What's going on?
Well, I've heard stories from people who are closer to the Ripkins than me, and I would say I'm not shocked by it all.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming you don't want to go more into it.
No, because I guess Rob would probably be a better source of this, but I think if I speak out of turn, it might be slander. Or...
No.
Oh, if I'm telling a story that somebody else told me?
It is hearsay, and of course, we have no idea. We have no idea what the truth is.
Well, I have.
So I can't get in any kind of legal trouble for saying this on the internet.
This is what you've heard.
Oh, okay. Well, I've heard that Cal used to beat Kelly pretty bad.
Okay, that's because totally slanders. Yeah, you're getting in trouble.
Damn it! Why'd you set me up like that?
No, it's totally conjecture. We have no idea. We can't speak. We're not speaking from any position of knowledge, and any position of truth.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would make sense. I think professional sports players have that kind of stereotype.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, but why would she hang out this long? He's been retired for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too much.
Maybe there was another moment, like,
or like Ray Rice's wife, and she hung out till the money ran out.
He's still making money. Trust me.
Yeah, he's still got. I mean, he's got all that money from that cow's milk he had in the '90s. That probably made him so much money. I remember that.
He owns a minor league baseball team. Hello.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's got to be really prolific.
Yeah.
Oh, he puts out books or something. I don't know. You know,
he's also a commentator on ESPN, right?
I mean, he comes in on TBS during the playoffs. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's like a part-time commentator.
And those eyes. Oh, those piercing blue eyes.
Sounds like Rob's going to try and get Cal Ripken now that he's on the market.
Yeah, you know. Listen, he's available. That's what I heard.
Listen, I got bills to pay.
Sometimes you got to do something strange for a little bit of change. Right?
It goes. Maybe he'll be like, "Well, to get to me, you have to go through Billy first."
I can take one. I'll take one.
Rob will take a shot in the mouth from Billy.
I was gonna say you heard stories about those girls who are like, "Who do I gotta fuck to meet Prince?" And then they just fuck everybody in the
security guards.
Yeah, it's the benefit of being Prince's security guard. All kinds of strange.
Man, there's no way Tom Berenger, right? There's no way that does not taste like cigarettes.
Yeah, but she probably smokes at this point too.
Yeah, everyone did.
Yeah, it's just like tons of. It's like an ashtray kissing an ashtray.
It was the 80s. It wasn't bad for you yet.
Yeah, and you know, the coke dulls the sense of smell as well. So
yeah. They were just.
I think I'm going to have to pull this move. Just grab a pair of cleats and just pull a skirt off with it.
But see, then it would rip, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Rachel, go to Walmart, get a $4 skirt. I'm ripping it off with some cleats.
All right, so there has
It's
been...
my birthday. I have this plan.
Listen, I'm going to come over to your house. I'm going to be dressed like I play for the Cleveland Indians.
There have been relationships in my past where we did exactly that. You go to thrift stores or you go to Target and you buy
saucy role play,
cheap clothes just to be ripped off. That's what it's for. And because the cheap clothes rip easier. So
just got to make a little tiny cut.
No cut.
No cut, just straight rip. You get
a skirt and you get it right up next to the zipper and you pull real hard.
I've gotten a wedgie before. I just can't imagine like if I didn't do it right, like if I just went for the rip and it just like stayed.
Wait, what are we ripping? We're ripping the skirt? Because the skirt's got nothing to wedge. You know what I mean?
Where are they getting these old comic books from?
Like, I think
they might not be that old.
I think the Indians are providing them for them as reading material.
Oh, on that bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're so poor they can only get old comics. See, this shows they know nothing about how much comic books.
Oh, look, Yankee Stadium with a Marlboro advertisement in the out.
How about that? And old Yankee Stadium as well.
Yeah.
Where we saw a game, one of the last games ever played there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, you went to Yankee Stadium?
Yep, old Yankee Stadium is the last series, I think.
It was like the second to last game.
Yeah.
That's like I could never go there. That's like telling my dad I joined the Nazis or something.
Well, we went and watched the Orioles play the Yankees.
Yeah. And
See,
we wore
I
Orioles gear.
still don't think that. I feel like that wouldn't be okay. That would be not okay even with him. It's like, Yankees, you might have gotten some.
I believe that was also the game where... Was that the game where we had to deal with drunk people the whole day? Or was that the next year at New Yankee Stadium?
That was the next year.
Oh, Jesus.
The people who were in the bleachers with us at the Yankee game at Old Yankee Stadium were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They gave us like a reasonable amount of shit. They're like, Orioles, and we're like, yeah, just here watching the game. It's like, you do you.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we got spanked, so it's not like we had to worry about it.
It was during the lean years,
not
when
like
Brian Roberts was our perennial all-star.
Not like leaving Detroit when we were victorious and running for our lives.
We weren't running for our lives.
No, they had left that nice note on a car that's now framed here in the studio.
Yeah.
All we need is something big.
Oh, should I tell my Charlie Sheen?
Oh,
Major
please.
League 2 story?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is like a long time. Should we be quiet during this part?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a long time like urban legend, but I'm going to tell the better version of it that I heard from various drug dealers around Baltimore who I was helping with their taxes. Anyway. But so
yes.
Jim, if we were on video right now, this is where you look behind over your shoulder.
But they, the rumor was that when they were shooting Major League 2, what he would do is he would find a number of a coke dealer, basically, and he'd call them early in the night and say, well, when we're done shooting, could you come to this location? I'm like, yeah, sure. And it would be like a lot of coke. And they'd sell it to him. And then an hour later, he'd be like, could I meet you again? And they'd be like, well, I just met you. Are you finished with it? That's really weird. And he'd just say, it doesn't matter. Just meet me here. And he basically, instead of just buying them out of everything, he just keep having them come back constantly and constantly. And he did that to every dealer in Baltimore. So within, this is the urban legend. Within a couple weeks, he'd basically either bought most of the coke that was available or had annoyed all the dealers that they wouldn't sell to him anymore. But they would all comment and go, why don't you just buy in bulk? That's so fucking annoying. They're just more pissed off that all the time they wasted on constantly selling to him. They'd be like, that was my whole night.
Something tells me that there was somebody who at some point was just like, listen, if you have a kilo, then you're going to jail forever.
Right, yeah.
But if you have this much,
an ounce, you're good.
Yeah, you're not going to really deal with a lot of trouble. So just buy an ounce at a time. And it's okay.
But that was, I've heard that urban legend countless times, and there's been versions where the guy just threw out his beeper and stopped selling until Charlie Sheen left town. And this is 5 days. I heard this for way before he quit 2.5 Men and stuff. So, yeah. But that's the story. Have you never heard that before? Or?
No, I hadn't. Not, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'd heard that from different people too. So I don't know how true it is, but it definitely took on a life of its own.
So wait, can I interrupt real quick and just say,
God, look at that airbrushing.
It's a montage. It's a winning sports montage. Yeah, yeah. And we're winning, and we're striking them out, and we're getting hits.
Orioles.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like how they change just the color of the backdrop behind home plate to make it look like different stadiums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly we're in Minnesota now because there's a blue backdrop. 30 years.
Wow.
I don't know what that's like.
I don't remember local teams doing commercials like this, or is this just to make a point for the movie? Probably.
I feel like this is probably a thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because keep in mind now, they are the streaking Indians who went from last place to second place.
Yeah.
So So they're sending a mess there. I mean, like American Express jumps on it. They need money for the team, right, to get their stuff.
You know what? I bet how that really happened is they're like, how can we get a couple $100,000 for this movie? Let's make a narrative beat where we have an American Express ad in the middle.
Well, as you see, now was product placement a thing this early?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They would have. I think they would have paid for that. You know, oh man, somebody's Game Boy.
Oh my god, that screen!
Yeah, remember the lean years where we had to watch things in pixelated.
Oh wow,
nice jorts there, buddy.
Listen, don't make fun of jorts, all right?
See, man, that guy from Scrubs is like in this a lot.
He's a fan. He's a Cleveland fan.
I like it when they have like someone who like you think is just an extra and they become a character.
Yeah,
that's cool. You know, he was there for at least a week.
Now, if I remember, not to spoil it for everybody, she's not naked under that thing.
I forgot. Well, I don't get it. It's like, if they don't like her, why do they want to see her naked? I don't really get it.
Well, because it would be embarrassing for her.
Oh, okay.
And she was a playmate. I think that's how this started, right? She was a playmate who married the owner.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, no. She was a topless dancer. Yeah. In Vegas.
I love this all right.
See, kids, back in the day, people would have TVs in their bedrooms because you didn't have a phone. See, I'm not as good at it as Rob. Never mind.
Wait. So you don't have a TV in your bedroom?
No, we actually do have a TV. We have a TV. We have a TV DVD VCR in the bedroom. I'm actually right next to
Mrs. Dorn is watching her husband get busy.
Oh no!
How dare you, Dorn?
I was shaking his hand because we were doing math tutoring. I don't understand.
Clearly.
Listen, I had to get really close to her lips because that's where her ears are.
I was going to say, you have to have a TV in the bedroom because how are you going to surf on social media if you're watching TV on your phone?
Yeah. You know what? And if I have an older TV, you can put it on a sleep setting, and if you can fall in front of the TV, and it'll turn itself off in like 15 to 30 to 60 minutes. It's awesome.
All right, so I don't have a sleep setting, but mine goes off automatically after 4 hours. So I just figured.
Okay. So you have a built-in sleep setting kind of thing.
And I was going to say, I watch it, as long as I don't change the channel, it's like the inactivity alarm. And honestly, I'm a grown man, so clearly all I watch at night is Adult Swim. It's got adult right there in the title. So
I actually didn't know about the sleep setting. I never understood what it was. And then I saw in a movie someone explained it, and I go, oh shit, I'm using that.
It's a good deal. I mean, it's helpful because, nothing worse than waking up in the middle of the night with that TV still going and you can't find the remote and you're half asleep.
Yeah, it's easier.
But we also have remotes, and I think at like this time the remote was... Wait, what? 89? Do we have the remotes that were still...
My phone is my remote now, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, yeah.
But I think the remote was still on like a string at this point. Do you remember? Did anybody have that? Was I the only one who had the remote
that was connected to the television? Yeah.
That was still around, but most people had the regular remotes, but it would light up like it would light up red on it, so you knew if you were hitting buttons.
Right. That's right. Oh, God.
God, that's so 80s.
I know. That outfit is...
That is super 80s.
This is like right after Ferris Bueller, like a year or two after.
You would think if she's spending all the time putting on the fancy outfit and doing her hair up all crazy with the hairspray, she would spend a little bit more time with the skin on her face.
This was in, and she just did a huge line of blow in the bathroom. All right,
zits are in at this point. Like a big, huge zit on her.
That's not a zit. That is a beauty mark.
Oh.
Don't be all judgy. Don't be all judgy. All right.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman who I would absolutely take the check from. Oh, God. She is right in Rob's wheelhouse too.
She was a local hire. Give her a break.
Oh no!
Wait, what's that mean?
That's Dorn's wife.
Oh shit!
The third baseman, Mrs. Roger Dorn.
See, this is a younger Charlie Sheen. Now he would just be like, it's Tuesday.
No, he would look at her and be like, "You should probably get tested."
Going up on
yeah.
Tuesday.
Now that was a felony.
What?
Because Charlie Sheen would have sex with her without telling her he was HIV positive. Right?
Oh, yeah.
God, she's such a cunt too.
She's got things to tell him.
I'm not sure who in this situation is worse.
No, because listen, doing it is for you. Telling him about it is just being a bitch.
Oh, like making sure Charlie Sheen knew, you mean?
No, making sure that Dorn knew. I mean, if she wanted to sleep with Charlie Sheen just as revenge, I get that, but...
I mean, she was still humiliated because that was on TV as well. I mean, you have to put that into play.
Not true, but I don't know if anybody noticed her husband in the background.
Yeah, but like when when your mind's going crazy, you're not thinking like that. You're thinking like, my friend saw it or something.
True. See, I don't care about that.
I'm trying to debate the divorce lawyer on this one. Anyway,
I would have absolutely just been like, you clearly are cheating, and I'm taking half of everything, and peace. No reason to get revenge.
I could definitely go for some fried chicken right about now.
I could too. Can we send somebody out for a fried chicken run?
Chicken. Get one of the interns.
Man, that's when KFC was actually chicken.
No, that's when it was Kentucky Fried Chicken before it became KFC.
Oh, that's true.
They can't market it as Kentucky Fried Chicken if it's not really chicken.
Is that true? Wait, that's not true.
I think that's an urban legend that they changed to KFC because it's not actually chicken anymore.
Oh, like that. You know that urban legend that, remember when there was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you had Snap, Crackle, Pop? No, it was
Rice Krispie Treats.
And then the fat one was the only one that they decided to lose the other two, and the urban legend was that he ate the other two.
God, Bob Uecker in this movie, by the way, is just gold.
You know what's funny?
If you're ever watching a baseball game and you want to make somebody laugh, just give them one of those, like, just a bit outside, or whatever. Just any Uecker line will do.
Part of this movie I actually remember from watching it all those years ago. Like, because you always remember that guy.
Yeah. He's not the best color man in the business for nothing, folks.
What's with the bunting they have? It's like they're at the Kentucky Derby.
It's the ALCS, right? No, this is the game to get into the ALCS.
Yeah.
Because this is before they had the wild card round.
Right.
So.
Oh, man, look at that animation.
This is like the league championship game, basically.
Yes, it is.
So
it's surprising that they didn't speed up the video at all of the pitch coming in.
Yeah.
Just to make,
just so a little faster.
Yeah. Because it basically came in at 60 miles an hour.
But he's got junk, though. He's putting junk on it.
Yeah.
What is like one of your favorite baseball movies?
Bull Durham.
Yeah, there's...
It's my favorite movie, period.
Oh, damn. I need to rewatch that because it's been a while. And when I heard that... Did you hear Susan Sarandon on WTF?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I was like, man, I kind of need to actually kind of have seen Bull Durham in this century.
It's really good. And it holds up, too. I mean, like, it's definitely 80s, but, like...
Willie Mays Hayes to the wall!
I wonder how many times they shot that.
To get him to time it out, right?
Yeah. Take 80.
So what other baseball... I mean, so we got Field of Dreams. We got A League of Their Own, which is kind of a baseball movie. The Major League Series.
League of Their Own is definitely a baseball movie, and
it's a girls.
The end of League of Their Own, Spielberg used that and make the end of Schindler's List.
Wait,
what?
Have I not seen League of Their Own? What?
So at the end of League of Their Own, where suddenly it cuts to video footage of the real women seeing their exhibit in the Hall of Fame?
Right, yeah.
Like, it cuts to video instead of film. Spielberg saw it. I heard there's a really great, if you can find it, Kevin Smith did like a 3-hour interview with Penny Marshall, which is seriously an amazing interview. And she says that, and I was like, wait, that's not true. And I looked at the dates, and like, yeah, A League of Their Own came out before Schindler's List, and Spielberg saw that section and went, at the end of Schindler's List, he has the video footage of all the ancestors that were able to be born because of what Schindler did.
Right.
So he asked her, he said, can I use that in Schindler's List? And she's like, yeah, sure. And that's where he got the idea for the ending, is The League of Their Own.
Oh, hey. I had no idea.
And Penny Marshall's awesome. She directed she's the first female director to direct a movie that made over $100 million, and, Big and A League of Their Own and other stuff. She's awesome. I love Penny Marshall. But anyway, sorry. But 8 Men Out is one I really like. It's about
Black Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's John Sayles and God, there's probably some others, and I'm like, can't think of them right now. But I know there's a bunch that I really like. Yeah, or what was the one about Lou Gehrig?
Oh, Pride of the Yankees?
No.
I like...
Oh, and then there was Mantle, which had Lou Gehrig played in. The one with Tom Jane.
Actually,
Mantle.
61.
61, that's what
that was the one about Roger Maris breaking the home run record. That was really good. That was a Billy Crystal did that one.
And I actually did enjoy... I just like Tom Jane, though.
Yeah,
Tom
he's
Jane
good.
You know what one I will watch if it's on? Rookie of the Year.
Oh, my God, yes. In the same vein, Angels in the Outfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same kid, but I like to think it's the same kid.
I like Rookie of the Year because it's like, I love the ending
when
he
there's the
hurts his arm
natural, too.
again and he loses his powers.
It's not his powers. His arm just goes back to normal. He's
not
a superhero.
No, it's his superhero powers. That's how I take it.
I say, fuck you, Jobu.
Is that the guy from the Allstate commercials?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Albert Hainsworth.
Okay. I was trying to
or not Albert Hainsworth. Something like that.
Way before he was on 24 and all that.
Yeah,
so
he was on 24. Then he basically plays the general in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because it's just so well before his peak of fame. It's kind of weird,
Yeah. Fuck you, Jobu.
By the way, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for the Indians fans. I mean, he hits it out of the ballpark, which is nice, but technically he's out right now.
Yeah, because he takes the bat with him.
Because you have to drop the bat before you get to first.
Yep.
Or else you're out.
Well, wait, what were the rules in 1989?
No, that's still a rule. That was a rule the whole time.
Okay, well, there you go.
And I think technically everybody who was on base that he hit in is out as well.
Yeah, so that's the end of the inning.
Wow, thanks for ruining the movie.
Yeah,
Damn.
Sorry. It's one of those, every single movie's got one or two things where you can suspend disbelief.
Well, because he prayed to Jobu, and Jobu fixed his bat.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you know what was the last big baseball movie? It was Moneyball.
Yeah, that was all right.
Actually, I enjoyed Moneyball.
I wasn't as into it as everyone else, but it was,
a movie I didn't like, a baseball movie I didn't like, was 42.
See, I never saw 42, but after seeing Civil War, I kind of want to revisit Chadwick
Boseman.
Yeah, I didn't see Get On Up either.
Oh my God, is that the guy who played Jackie Robinson?
Yeah.
In 42?
Yeah.
Oh, dig.
Yeah.
I will not see now. I want to see it. I like him.
Seriously, do yourselves a favor. I'm sure there's some sort of clip of Jackie Robinson on YouTube or something like that. But there's an actual movie with Jackie Robinson playing Jackie Robinson, called The Jackie Robinson Story. But Jackie had a very soft, kind of nasally voice.
Right.
So you don't if you hear him in interviews, he would be like, "I'm very appreciative of everything that Mr. Ricky did for me.
Yeah.
Allowing me to play this game of baseball." And then as soon as Chadwick Boseman goes in to play Jackie Robinson in 42, he's like, "Ain't no man gonna take away what I was mine."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which really bugged the shit out of me.
But he looks.
Did it work?
Did
it work as a movie, with him making that more of a character, or no?
Well, no. He basically played it I don't know. I'd rather watch the Jackie Robinson story.
Yeah.
Which was made in the 50s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I always like Ken Burns baseball.
yeah, that's great. I love Ken Burns
Now,
baseball.
are we counting that as a baseball movie though? Because it's not. It's more like a documentary.
Yeah, but documentaries are movies, so...
Yeah.
But I guess that does bring up the point, because that was TV. That's not in theaters, I don't think.
No, that was on MPT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or PBS for the people who are
PBS.
listening outside of the Baltimore area.
Wait. Oh yeah, because MPT is man.
Yeah, I noticed you did that. But,
I like how he's just like, fuck you, I'm walking to the... like, I'm not going to exert the energy of jogging lightly to the mound.
Didn't we Orioles have a pitcher who walked at least the first couple steps out?
I
feel like we
not
did.
That I can think of.
there was definitely a thing in late 80s, early 90s movies of, like, the working class versus...
I like the Yankees here, where they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Sorry, Jib. Working class hero.
Or, yeah, like, have you noticed that there's, like, a big thing in the late 80s to early 90s of the white collar versus the blue collar? Like, I think it was because the what was that, Black Tuesday or something in 87 around there? The stock market crashed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was definitely, like, this kind of anger at the time. You can, like, kind of sense it. Even in this, like, how it's like, you know, they're kind of the working class baseball team versus the owner who was, you know,
Right.
this woman who got there.
An elite.
Yeah.
By the way, I know it's not like a baseball movie, but one of my favorite movies that has like baseball involved in it is Naked Gun.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay.
Well, and anyway, back to the. It's weird that you say that because you're right. In the late '80s, there was a bunch of working class versus upper class movies. And when that crash happened in the aughts, we didn't have the same thing.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Well,
oh, shit.
Oh.
He's going to dress him down. Give me the ball. Give me the fucking ball.
Strike this motherfucker out.
Yeah!
Such a good line.
Ooh!
I think it didn't happen in the aughts because people were still believing that they could extend their credit card debt and it wouldn't happen to them.
Well, and I mean, because we actually had movies that were, I guess not in the aughts so much, but we had like, what was that movie that just was an Oscar contender?
Big Short?
Big Short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we had movies about the crash, but we didn't have that same like working class hero movie. Even though like comic book heroes took off, and in a way that's kind of a working class thing that we're searching for a savior, that kind of stuff. But
yeah, there really hasn't been. Yeah, that's a good point, because right around this time is when Roseanne happened, and then The Simpsons, and like all this stuff that's more about working class everyday people.
yeah,
I like how...
Married with Children, the ultimate one.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Good point.
I love fat baseball players. By the way, I know Jim probably won't recognize this reference, though. Did you see Bartolo Colon hit his first career home run?
I did.
And then he jiggled all the way around the bases.
I'm surprised he didn't carry the bat all the way around.
He carried it almost all the way down to first. 99 miles an hour, Jesus.
Is he gonna hit 100?
Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
Oh, wait, did you see the baseball documentary about Kurt Russell's dad?
No?
Like how his little league, or it wasn't a little league team. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. I'm an idiot. It was a major league team, but it wasn't part of the.
I just spit on his
A minor
back.
league team.
It was kind of a minor league team. It was like an independent baseball team, and his success with it, and how he was trying to spin off from the major leagues and have like independent baseball teams again. And it was in the 70s, and Kurt Russell actually played for him.
By the way,
Oh,
by the way, if you want to see a really interesting documentary about like independent sports, there's one on Netflix right now called "Who Killed the USFL." It's a 30 for 30.
Yeah,
and especially if you hate Trump, because Trump was an owner of a USFL team
and then bailed on him.
No. He said there's no point in us playing in the spring. We got to go directly up against the NFL in the fall.
Oh, yeah, sure, that makes sense.
And then basically he just used that as an opportunity to sue the NFL for like antitrust.
Right.
But the case was so badly put together that the judgment that they got for it was only like $2.39 or something like that.
Yeah.
oh, jeez.
So at the end of the movie, he's just like the documentarian's like, do you want to see the $2.39 check that you won for the antitrust? And Trump's just like, yeah, I'm done here. He's like, look.
Oh man. But wait, what was that movie with Will Ferrell about the independent?
The guy threw at his own kid in a father-son game. There's so many great lines in this movie. $2.91, not bad.
Man, it's crazy to see Wesley Snipes young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's like bulkier when he was... Well, I guess he was an action star, so he's working out more.
Yeah. Well, I keep in mind, black don't crack. I mean...
Yeah, but he's
that was the Baltimore chop right there.
Wesley's still got the looks. It's changed, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, he looks older, but he certainly doesn't look his age, I don't think. Because he was he was nearing 30 when this came out? In his mid-20s, maybe?
Yeah, he was maybe younger than that.
No, because I thought when he did Blade in like the 90s that he was actually in his mid to late 30s.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I know he was younger when he did New Jack, and that was like a couple years after that.
Well, how old was he?
Sorry. I'm not sure. See, I should actually be looking things up. I'm just like, what's this thing?
Well, if only we had access to the...
Well, it's 1989. Or 1988. That's not available.
Oh, so he was in his 20s, because he was born in 62.
No, yeah, so he would have been in his late 20s in 89.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I doing that math right? 82, he would have been 20. Right, so then he was... In Blade, he was in his mid-30s. And then in the aughts, he was in his mid-40s, and now he's upwards of 50, so on the other side of 50.
Oh, man. Look at this lead.
By the way, is that Howard Stern's sidekick on the mound? Artie Lang? Is that Artie Lang pitching?
No.
No, it's not Artie Lang.
It looks like Artie Lang.
It's like a skinny Artie Lang.
Maybe it's Artie Lang's brother.
Who? David Lang?
David Lang. Jeremy Lang.
There's a lot going on in that throw.
Shortstop number 2, white guy. That's weird.
89. Derek Jeter wasn't born yet.
Oh, he was born.
Barely. All right, now I gotta find
It was fucking bitches in middle school. Giving them a gift bag on their way back.
Wesley Snipes is 53 now. And he looks just as good now as he did in this movie.
Yeah.
Little bulkier now.
Derek Jeter, when he was in middle school, would fuck girls in the ass and make them ride their bikes home.
Damn. Damn. Oh, Derek Jeter's married? Derek Jeter's 41. He was born in 1974. I had no idea.
What is that, by the way, what is that beep that goes on?
All right. Yeah, I hate this. Basically, there's a backup battery for the internet, and that battery is dying, so it beeps every half hour or some shit.
It's backup battery, like for the whole internet? Or what do you mean?
For the internet here at the house. I don't know.
It's like the modem. It's a modem battery beeping.
And I really hate it. They're sending out a new one, but for the time being, that's just happening.
Okay. See, now this is... The Anthem Alliance is going to love that part. 'Cause they're like, I always wanted to know.
Listen, all the secrets come out. All the secrets come out for the Alliance.
They're gonna be like, good podcast, but man, I don't like when Jim shows up.
He ruins all the inside secrets.
He's like asking questions.
No, he caught his shot again.
Indian war whooping.
This
By the way, at some
racist.
point, when the Indians have to change their name,
Yeah.
and we like look back on this movie, we're just gonna be like, wait a minute, there was a team called the Cleveland Indians.
And
Well, they'll do like a special edition ET and CGI it over or something.
Yeah, Chief Wahoo was their mascot.
The Braves of the Cuyahoga? Really?
I don't.
That's what you.
There's not even a single native person on the team.
Yeah.
I don't. The Duke from the Belt, Artie Lang, deals to the plate to Tom Berenger, action star Tom Berenger.
Comes the 1-1 pitch.
Oh,
Beautiful
oh,
bunt.
nice.
Look at this guy's face.
Shit.
Oh, those knees.
Oh,
Those knees.
No.
I know your pain, Tom Berenger.
Wait, he's going home on the bunt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. 2 down, right? 2 down. So he's just got to
shit.
beat the throw. Beat the throw, Tom! Run, you motherfucker! Oh, no! And no down! Oh! Here's the thing.
I like how he turns to argue with the umpire, and then he's like, oh, shit.
If you're going to go down and you got bad knees, go down on your face.
I do love this shot right here of the umpire.
Yes! Indians win!
It's weird.
Indians win!
It's weird that you'd switch to a perspective shot of somebody who like
Just slid.
like we're breaking away from like sort of like an outer world into a perspective shot, but it kind of works in that situation.
Yeah. You know what's... While I was watching this, it's weird to see a comedy, like, if you make a comedy now, it's all with, like, people who are definitely comedians.
Yeah.
Or comedic actors, but you have, like, Tom Berenger and Wesley Snipes who are action people.
Charlie Sheen, who was an action star at this point, right?
He did, like, Hot Shots and stuff. Like, he did more Well, I guess this was right after Platoon. Good point. Sorry, Rob. Rob's right.
I was going to say, because I think he did Hot Shots because of this, right? It was a comedy based on Platoon. Well, not based on Platoon, but the same kind of action.
I love this.
Joke on Top Gun.
Well, no, but I mean, his experience in Platoon then I think gave him the chops to do a comedy, a military comedy. Sorry, that's what I meant.
But, like, you would never, except for, like, Jude Law in The Heat, or in Spy, sorry, you don't see that very often. It's kind of like something I miss.
I like how there's all these fans on the field and none of them are like bothering the players.
Right.
They're just bothering the other fans. Yeah.
But again, Jim, I think you're right, because who in this movie is a comedy actor?
Yeah.
There's a lot of action B-roll people, like that guys in this are definitely action people.
I think part of what makes it so funny though is the fact that you got people who are pretty straight playing funny.
Yeah.
Like James Gammond, who's the manager, like whenever he has a line like, you know, like, oh, can I call you back? I got a guy on the other line about some white walls. Like, it's a pretty like saying it straight is funnier than
playing it definitely straight. So that is the movie, ladies and gentlemen.
The Indians win. The Indians win.
And tune in next week when we're going to do Major League 2.
And then Major League 3, back to the minors.
No, thank you. No, I object to that one. But yeah, so wide-ranging conversation. Actually, that was interesting.
I like our director's commentary episodes.
Absolutely.
I think it's a cool little tradition. Like they're not all the time, but every now and then, you know, we do them. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. Well, so as always, we thank our special guest. Do you want to give a shout out, Jim, to where people can find you online?
Oh, you can find me on the YouTubes under my name, Jim Gisriel, or you can just Google it. I come on just Gisriel. I'm on the Twitters, Tumblrs. What?
Good SEO.
What's that?
Search engine optimization.
Okay. Well, I think it's just because no one has mine. Anyway, sorry. But I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, and check out my stuff. But also, if you're watching this and you're more familiar with me than Oh the Anthem, their thing is right on the side of my channel. So you can just go subscribe and get that done, and you can watch all this stuff.
Thank you very much, sir.
Because I am not only like to guest on it, but I'm also a fan. So
sounds
Corey
like one
knows, 'cause I've geeked out before.
Sounds like one of those like hair club for men. Like, I'm not only a paid spokesman, I'm a client.
But I really do listen.
I love when I get messages from you and you're just like, oh man, this episode was really good. I'm just like, thank you.
Thank you.
The Old Town Mall and then the DeRay, those coming out together. Those were that was a great run. I was like, holy shit, it's bringing fire. I was like, I always liked them, but those two, I was like, fuck, damn.
And it's all downhill from here.
We go right to Drinko de Mayo.
Yeah, we've reached the pinnacle, and then we take it to Drinko de Mayo.
Well, that was a good Drinko de Mayo, I will say. That was my favorite of the Drinko de Mayos.
Also my favorite of the Drinko de Mayos, actually.
You only had 2 shots?
Maybe it's not Corey's favorite Drinko de Mayo, but...
Well, the first one wasn't my favorite, because that's when I did 15 or 17 shots.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Flash rewatched it, and she said 15, but I've always been saying 17. I
think she doesn't count the initial shot because in the counter you didn't count the initial shot that we both took.
Oh, okay.
And then I think that you owed one. I think technically you were supposed to take 17, but you actually only took 17.
Oh, gotcha. Mm.
So yeah.
Anywho,
yeah.
If you want to find more Oh the Anthem, ohtheanthem.com, Corey at ohtheanthem.com, Oh the Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595.
And you can find me on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check it out, robertncheek.com, where you can find links to my political blog, to my news website, and to everything we have going on, including signing up for my mailing list, which is expanding every day. I do want to say a special thank you to everyone who has checked out my newest video posting on YouTube and who has signed up for the mailing list recently. You can also find links to my books, which are available on Amazon.
And I want to say a special thank you to everyone who buy Rob's books.
Thank you. Also, don't forget, I know we've said it a couple times, but these are some of our favorite types of podcasts to do. It's a little different from the normal, but we enjoy them greatly. If you enjoy content like this, let us know, Corey@ohtheanthem.com, or call the listener line at 443-219-7595.
What's that number again?
443-219-7595. Let us know. And if you heard about us through Jim's podcast or through his YouTube or through his Twitter, let us know that you heard about us through them, because we would love to give him a special shout out and you a special shout out through them. And make sure you support both of our efforts on Patreon, patreon.com. You can find all of our information available on there.
Yep. Well, I think we've done good here today.
In a rare occasion, I will agree with you. We have done very good here today.
Not nearly as good as the Indians, because they just won the pennant. But.
Absolutely, but we've done something. It's good.
Well, they'll walk a trail of tears later.
Oh, too soon, Jim. Too soon.
Right at the end of the episode, too. You
sorry.
Save your racism for the last 30 seconds.
Hashtag socially acceptable racism. The Anthem is going to have, the Alliance is going to have a field day with that comment. But as always, you're listening to the Oh the Anthem podcast, part of the Oh the Anthem digital network. For Corey and Jim, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody. Stay strong, Alliance.
Go Indians. I mean, Orioles.
Yeah.